Hey guys, how's it going? Mr. Woody here, and today I got a Summit Sharpshooter gameplay. I do believe I destroyed this game. If this is a game I remember, I absolutely lit up the other 5 people in this lobby. I was about to say other team and realized that'd be wrong, but I lit up the other people in this lobby. There we go. And today I want to talk about, well, it's kind of hard to say, but how people are hating on this game. And what I have to say about that is I had an epiphany. If you don't have an epiphany, look it up. It's kind of like a discovery that you found. That's, you don't hate the game, you hate the player. Now, that may be backwards from what you've heard other people say, but I think that applies to Call of Duty and most video games in general, is that you hate the player, not the game. Like, this game, I think we complain more about this game than we do MW2, and MW2 was a lot more broken than this game. Like, come on now. The noob tubes, the commando, painkiller, it was a lot more broken. But this game, let me think, right off the top of my head, what is wrong with this game? The connections are worse than they were before, so that's one problem. And really, that's it. That's really the only game's faults. But then us as players, we create faults inside the game. The FAMAS wouldn't be a problem, but we all use it. So then it becomes a problem. You see my logic here? We, us as commentators, were all using Ghost when the game first came out. And people see us wearing Ghost, using FAMASs. Then they say, hey, I should do that too. Then they all start using Ghost and FAMASs and do good, and then they won't drop that setup anymore. Also, camping. Now, I don't actually know where that one came from. I think that's just a phenomenon of people caring about their stats way too much, and they know they can't get them, so they just sit in corners or sit in just the randomest spots possible. Which again is not the game's fault. That's not Treyarch's fault. They didn't. There's no big message saying at the start saying if you sit in this corner, you get 1 billion COD points. That Treyarch didn't make that. It's us as the players who ruin this game. I think it was Trout that once tweeted that the game isn't bad. It's the players who play it. We're the ones who end up ruining these Call of Duty games for ourselves. If we use the same setup every game, like the FAMAS, which I'm guilty of, I'm not gonna lie. Well, if you kill someone repeatedly with the same gun, what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna go right to the FAMAS because they're like, hey, that guy just raped me with the FAMAS, let me try this. And so then they're gonna use it. Then they're gonna do mildly successful. They're gonna be like, hey, I like this gun, and then that's all they're gonna use. Because once bad players find a way that they can do good, they're gonna keep doing it that way because they know they can do better than they were before when they were running around with like a Caparis with like infrared. I don't even know if that's possible, but if it is, let's just use that as an example. Speaking of Caparis or whatever the hell you want to say it. But so I think we all need to take a break. No Call of Duty game will ever be perfect because of the people who play it. There's always going to be new people who are new to the game, and they're going to be scared to rush around because they're just going to die every time because they're not good. So then they're going to resort to sitting in corners. Now, there's really no way we can deal with it by checking your corners, which I never do. I should probably learn to do that sometimes. But there's no way the developers can fix player behavior unless they made it so like there's like a timer of how long you can sit in a corner before you get like booted from the game or something. Also, rage quitting games. That was also started by us. Because I remember seeing a video that would say if you dashboarded, those stats wouldn't count. Then maybe someone sees that, they learn that it works. And then maybe someone sees that, they start leaving games. Well, I guess anyone's gonna leave if they're doing really bad. But I think that's the problem with rage quitting now, and there's not a big enough incentive to stay in the game, which is a thing the developers can change, but they haven't, so that's still a problem. But so never a Call of Duty game is gonna be perfect because there's always gonna be stuff someone doesn't like. People are always gonna use it. People are always gonna do stupid, obnoxious things like sit in corners or use. Well, I was gonna say use Ghost and sit in corners, but that's a bit redundant. So people are always gonna do it. we'll never get away from it. We're just gonna have to learn to deal with it. And maybe in the next Call of Duty we can all start off on a right foot, not try and figure out the best elite setups to use right away, and play around in the game with some different weapons. Like, no one uses this MP5 except for like a few commentators, and it's a good gun. No one uses the Comparis, and it's a good gun. Well, with extended mags only, because you fire too fast. But I do believe the gameplay is wrapping up. I had a 7,500 score, I think. Hope you guys enjoyed. I should talk to y'all later. Peace out.